Living a life that depicts the teachings of Islam is the dream of every Muslim. Everyday Muslim, Saturdays 11 a.m. on Women Radio 91.7 is in collaboration with Muslim Public Affairs Center, NPAC. Everyday Muslim will address the misconceptions on Islam, foster a peaceful coexistence, and guide the everyday Muslim on the journey in Islam. Everyday Muslim, Saturdays 11 a.m. on Women Radio 91.7. Simplified understanding of the deen.
هل لك سر عند الله بينك أنت وبين الله هل لك صدقات تخفى لا يعلمها إلا الله هل لك سر عند الله بينك أنت وبين الله هل لك صدقات تخفى لا يعلمها إلا الله قصص لا تكشف
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. You're welcome to Everyday Muslim this beautiful Saturday morning. It's a quiet Saturday for most people. Subhanallah, it is a day of elections. Local government elections are holding across the state, and I do hope that you've done your civic responsibility by going out to cast your votes. If in your area they haven't arrived, because I've been following the news, I've been monitoring. In some places they're yet to commence. Just be patient. It's your civic responsibility. Let's be responsible citizens, residents of Lagos State. Let's go out. Let's encourage our family members to go out and cast their vote. That said, today, inshallah, on Everyday Muslim, we'll be looking at the digital Muslim, equipping ourselves with skills and values for a world in transition. And I do have two honorables joining me from across the globe, alhamdulillah, to look into this. My name is Amina Adams, and I'll be the one in driver's seat all the way till noon. Subhanallah, when I was driving down to the studio this morning, there was a nostalgic moment for me. The roads was exactly how it was during the COVID lockdown. Subhanallah. Kudos to, or shall I say, kundus to you all for obeying the laws of the land, staying put where you are until 3 p.m. when we'll be let loose, inshallah. May Allah make it a remarkable, successful election time. Right. So digital Muslim, how do we stay true to our Islamic values in a rapidly evolving world? Indeed, Allah did say to us in the Quran, chapter 13, verse 11, He will not change the condition of a people until they change what is in themselves. And that's why we thought this topic is apt. It's the right time to discuss it. I have Mr. Hafiz Akinde. He's joining us from the UK. He's an award-winning writer. He's a published author and a business analyst with a passion for solving problems through digital innovation. He holds a bachelor's degree in electrical and electronic engineering from the University of Ilorin in Nigeria, and a master's degree in management of business information technology from the University of Greenwich in London. Hafiz is best known as the author of Finding Your Purpose and has published 4 additional books that explore personal growth, technology, and purpose-driven living. In 2011, Hafiz won the Star Prize in the annual Crystal Muslim Organization Essay Contest, an achievement that earned him a $1,000 cash award and an all-expense-paid pilgrimage to Saudi Arabia. MashaAllah, tabarakallah. Had more, inshallah, for you, brother. Then I make it an acceptable one. Right. Driven by a deep interest in technology, Hafiz is the creator of Friend Convert. It's a Google Chrome extension designed to help users generate targeted leads via social media. He also builds AI-powered agents that automate everyday tasks to boost productivity and efficiency. And he's with us now, joining us from the UK, alhamdulillah. Assalamu alaikum, brother Hafiz.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Good to have you here.
Yeah, so happy to be here.
Yeah, alhamdulillah. And how's the weather?
It's all right. The weather is more or less like what we have in Nigeria right now. So it feels like I'm at home.
Oh, mashallah. Awesome. Brother Abdurazak Mustafa is also going, so it's more or less like a panel conversation this morning. To bring flavor to it. They are both gurus in their fields. Brother Abdurazak, on the other hand, is also a versatile product and front-end engineer. He's a community leader and tech educator with a strong track record for delivering user-centric digital solutions. He's worked with companies across Nigeria, Denmark, Germany, and parts of Far Asia, bringing a global perspective to product development and engineering best practices. Abdurazak is deeply committed to empowering young people through technology and education. As a regular speaker and mentor in tech communities, including events like Build with AI 2025, he continues to inspire and support the growth of aspiring developers. His current work explores the intersection of AI, user experience, and accessible learning platforms. Known for his clarity, empathy, and hands on teaching style, Abdurazak is excited to serve as a panelist for this session. Brother Abdurazak. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
The most important part of this, your profile for me, is the fact that, clarity, empathy, your teaching style is, because you're going to be talking to me, I'm the like KG or pre-kindergarten when it comes to this IT world. Everything is so unreal for me and stuff. So you've got to really break it down if you want to carry me along. Anyway, let me start with Mr. Hafiz. If you're just joining us, it's WFM 91.7. You want to bring your family and friends along to join us. It's going to be a very, very interesting conversation this morning. So, Mr. Hafiz, you've written extensively on purpose and personal growth. In a world shaped by AI, remote work, digital tools, how would you define the identity of a digital Muslim? Why is this identity not just relevant but necessary in today's transition-driven world?
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وأصحابه ومن والاه. We thank Almighty Allah for giving us this opportunity, and I want to quickly take this opportunity to say kudos to the entire staff of WFM and Impact for creating this platform. I've been following this program since inception.
Alhamdulillah.
It's been very beneficial. Second, I'm happy to be on the same panel with my brother, even though we've not met before. Is somebody I really respect, and
no, rephrase. You've not met physically, but you guys are always meeting in that your world, that your computer world. You could have been jamming.
I haven't met physically.
Right.
Yeah, but we still had a brief chat on Messenger recently.
Yes,
and I'm very happy to be here sharing the same stage with
you.
Yeah, so back to the question. A digital, I was trying to surf the web to look for to find the definition for what a digital Muslim is, and I couldn't find any, so I came up with my own definition.
All right.
So I've defined a digital Muslim as the type of Muslim that is aware of what goes on in the digital world and actively engages in that space. Okay, that type of Muslim maintains their identity as Muslims, and they let their faith, values, and principles shine through while engaging with digital technology.
Right.
They do not feel any guilt about immersing themselves in digital technology because they view it as a tool for service and positive impact. So that's what I would define a digital Muslim as: somebody who has the awareness and is actively engaged while not losing their Muslim identity. And then moving forward, I would like to talk about the 5 core qualities of a digital Muslim. Okay,
right.
What are those things you would see in an individual to qualify as a digital Muslim? So the first one is intentional technology use. Okay, you have to be intentional about the use of technology. In Islam, intention matters. Intention is everything. The Prophet said, you know, and you will not be rewarded except what you intended. So intention clarity of purpose is very important. So you have to be intentional. The second one is taqwa. You know, you can lose yourself in the digital world if you're not, you know, you're not careful, you're not conscious of what you're doing. It's very easy to lose yourself, to fall into haram things. So you have to be God conscious through taqwa. The Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam also said, "Ittaqillaha haythuma kunt." Wherever you are, fear Allah. The third one is value-driven innovation. Okay, everything you want to do online in the digital space has to be value-driven. You create, you contribute, you innovate, and then you ensure that all of these things align with the Islamic principles. Okay, the fourth one is balanced consumption. Okay, you have to be mindful of what you consume. There's this popular saying, garbage in, garbage out. So whatever you consume is what you give. If you find yourself consuming a lot of garbage online, unconsciously, it's the same garbage you will be producing. So you have to balance your consumption. You have to be wary of things that waste your time, and then, you know, things that make you lose your identity as Muslims. The last one is community building. A digital Muslim is somebody who is aware of himself, is conscious, and is also building a community with like minds. Okay. So to the question, why this identity is necessary, okay, it's necessary to create, you know, global connection with other Muslims in other parts of the world. It's necessary for representation because there are some spaces where we have very low Muslim representation. So by maintaining your digital identity, digital Muslim identity, you are representing Islam, you're an ambassador of Islam. It also helps you to discharge your dawah opportunities, because the primary the primary duty of every Muslim is inviting people to Islam. Right. With, you know, wisdom and the best of conduct. So having that platform, having that identity as a digital Muslim helps you to, you know, harness your opportunities. And the last one is economic empowerment. So these are the things that, you know, help you become a digital Muslim and make impact in the Muslim and global community.
Jazakumullah khairan, Brother Hafiz. I'm a student today, subhanAllah. If you're joining us via social media, you can watch us live on YouTube, WFM YouTube handle. We are live and you can watch. You'll see me taking notes because subhanAllah, apart from the fact that I want to be a digital Muslim, I don't want to be left in the cave, you know, I don't want to be left behind. So I need to up my game. Mr. Razak, from your experience building inclusive digital platforms and mentoring tech communities, what core Islamic values do you think we need to adopt to guide our behavior and decisions as Muslims in this digital ecosystem? And how do we balance rapid innovation with rooted ethics? I know some of the things you will say may cross ranks with Brother Hafiz. I mean, he's mentioned these features or key components of digital Muslims. So I'm sure some of them will feature in what you're going to say, but it's essential because you are hands-on. You're the you know, day-to-day trainer. So let's hear from you.
Jazakumullah khairan. First and foremost, thank you to the organizers for bringing me onto this platform. And it's great to meet my brother, Madam Hafiz Akinde. I think we've been friends on Facebook for a while, and I'm glad that this is connecting us together. Jazakumullah khair. So straight to the question. Bismillah. I think he mentioned the core components, because as Muslims we are guided by principles, like guided by a framework, by blueprints, and one of the foundations of every blueprint for a Muslim, it's the intention basically. But yeah, it plays a big role in how we approach things, how we build products, how we ideate, right? And at the heart of Islam, Nia is like the go-to thing. Every digital interaction, whether you're building a product, whether you're posting online, whether you're managing data, everything should be filtered through conscious intention. Am I serving or am I just simply calling? And definitely, we have a proof of this where Allah says, whoever does an atom weight of good will see it, and whoever does an atom weight of evil will also see it. So that intention matters. And again, as rightly quoted in one of the every actions are just by intentions. So this intention should be a driving force for us in our digital space. I've had spaces where I saw the two ends of things, where I did things because yes, it's for the sake of Allah, and I did this for the sake of let me see. I really want to show that I'm the best in this place. And at the end of the day, I got the reward for both of them, right? The first one went well because I had the goodness. Okay, the goal of this program was just like let's get these people on board and whatnot. And alhamdulillah, I saw the reward for it. What I wanted to show up and say like, oh yes, you guys will know who Gigma was supposed to do. I only got the reward for, hey, this guy is good. After that program, nothing came up. Right? And that means I got the reward for what I intended for. No. I should just know that. So this thing should be a shining light for us, right? The next one, which I would like to also mention, is ihsan. This is something that we Muslims need to uphold. Ihsan, doing things with excellence. Like this is something that, for me, it's my I don't know. There's this thing people call that when you wake up in the morning, you tell yourself, I don't know what they call it, like self. Just give me the word. It's going from my head. Where you tell yourself something, and self-motivation basically. And one of my key self-motivating words is from the hadith of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Inna Allah yuhibbu idha amila ahadukum amalan an yutqina. But indeed, Allah loves when one does a job, when one needs to do something, He does it with excellence. So whether you're writing an article for your subscribers, whether you're dishing out digital content, whether you're building a product, it has to be excellent. It has to be the best, right? Again, which goes back to the intention. If you do this with the intention of, I need to do this well so that Allah will love me. If Allah definitely loves you, or when Allah loves you, you will see it in your products. You will see it, even the metrics that you're trying to chase, like to get all the likes,
come to you easily. Subhanallah.
It's going to be made easier. So this is like one key. This is the one key habit that I learned at madrasa. I've always held it as my main thing. Whatever I need to do, I have to ensure that, Ya Allah, I'm doing it for your sake, and I'm doing this as excellent as I can be, based on my knowledge, based on the wisdom and knowledge you've equipped me with. I'm going to do it with excellence. And one other thing is also integrity. Again, we're in a world whereby there are lots of distractions.
Right.
Our integrity is at play here. You'd see that we're seeing Muslims who want to make money quick, and that has affected their manner, right? You're giving XYZ data to work on something. You have an NDA clause. You're sharing it. You're giving a deadline. You're doing it beyond then, and without giving the right communication. These things are why majority of people haven't succeeded in the online space. And you can't succeed in the online space if you have some of these key components that myself and Madam Hafiz has mentioned. You would struggle.
Right.
And lastly, innovation should outpace our ethics. Yes, we want to build, want to be out there, but these ethics should be the foundation. And it's not just asking, can we build? It's should we? Like, what's the long-term impact on our hearts and minds and the community at large? So I think this is how I would answer the question, basically.
Jazakumullah khair. You know, when you were speaking, when you said something about when you do something on social media space, you do it with intention. So it may sound funny, and you honestly, both of you, none of you needs to answer because it's a very silly question. So I intend to respond to an official email. But once I pick up my phone, all these notifications are staring at me, and so I quickly drive through Twitter land and I see messages, and then from there I jump into the Instagram space, and and next thing I know, 2 hours, I'm down here globetrotting, and I haven't even responded to the email that I should officially be responding to. So would I be judged according to what I did, or my intention was just not respond to the email? I mean, right. Let me come to
Good one.
I'm sure a lot of us are guilty of this, but I mean, rectify our affairs. Let me come to Brother Hafiz very quickly. In your journey as an author and creator of AI-powered productive tools, how do you personally stay anchored in purpose amidst the constant noise, distractions, digital burnout, and that many young Muslims face today? And that digital burnout, I mean, I've had a younger sister work on this space, and I see her. I just think they're in a different world entirely. I feel you guys are aliens. Just to my apologies if it comes across as insulting, but you guys live in another world. It doesn't seem like it's normal red blood that is flowing in your veins when you guys are at work and when you do your things. But then, what do I know, Brother Hafiz?
Yeah, this is a very big issue. It's an issue that we contend with every day, staying anchored in purpose amidst the constant noise. There's a lot of noise. The social media space is full of irrelevancies, distractions, and all of these things might lead to burnout if you do not manage your time very well, if you do not conduct yourself in a way that helps you align with your purpose. Okay, it's not easy, but it's not impossible to manage distractions. Okay, because distractions will always come, even in your home as parents. You're distracted, you're constantly being distracted, whether it's the need to interact with your family members, or maybe to talk with your neighbors or the people in your masjid. Something must just come up to take away from the time you're supposed to use for your productive work. So how do you manage all of these things? Okay. Personally, imbibed certain principles over the years that have helped me to stay focused and get things done. And a lot of times, you just need to find a silent moment to do creative work. Okay, it doesn't have to be structured. At times, you just need to allow yourself to work spontaneously without any structure. Okay. But the key thing is for you to have a clear purpose in mind. Okay, you're working towards, your purpose every step of the way. I wrote a book, Finding Your Purpose, and in that book, I outlined how Muslims can create purpose. Okay, how do you create purpose? Ask yourself questions. What are you passionate about? What can you do better than others? What do people, there are certain instances where you're looking for the best person for this job and everybody is just mentioning your name. Okay. All of those things will give you through your purpose. So it is this purpose that keeps you going. So every day, everything you do, you need to align it with your purpose. You need to set goals that align with your purpose. And everything has to drive back to earning the pleasure of Almighty Allah. Okay. Your intention, like I said, also matters for doing all of those, whether it's writing codes, writing content, or maybe creating content, or innovating ideas. Make sure everything is done for Allah, for the sake of Allah. When you're doing productive work and you know at the back of your mind that you're doing it for Allah's sake, first of all, you're doing it to earn the pleasure of Almighty Allah, it keeps you focused on your job and helps you stay away from all distractions that may veer you off the path. So your goals have to align with your purpose. Secondly, you have to be able to call yourself to account. Accountability plays a very good role. So, there's this popular saying in Islam, I think it's attributed to Sayyidina Umar, where it says, you have to call yourself to account before you're being called to account. So every day you're doing accountability audits. You're asking yourself, what have I set out to achieve today? Have I achieved it? If not, I have no reason to be on social media. Okay, you're measuring yourself against the metrics you've set for yourself. Also, you want to find accountability partners to yourself. It doesn't need to be formal. It could just be constant check-ins, maybe with your friend. You've told them you're trying to achieve something and you need to keep you on track to achieve it within this timeline. So constantly they have to be checking on you to see if you're still on track to achieving what you want to achieve. And lastly, what I wanted to talk about lastly is to maintain focus through deep work. There's this concept of deep work that was created or coined or made popular by an author, a professor of computer science at Georgetown University by the name of Cal Newport. It defines deep work as ruthlessly focusing on one particular task with undivided focus. Okay, so you're working 4 hours straight, for example, without any distractions. You're turning your phones away. You're using apps to limit social media notifications and all of that. You're just focusing on that work for a set number of hours. Okay, and this deep work is the opposite of what a lot of us do today. Okay, as we are constantly checking our phones or we are binge watching YouTube videos while working. Okay, you're in the middle of productive work, maybe at work or at home, but you're still doing all of these things that are taken away from your productivity. So this will limit your efficiency and effectiveness at workplace, and it will impact negatively on your output. So if you produce or practice deep work, it helps you cut out those habits and focus on the one most important thing, and don't stop until you've achieved it. Okay, it might, there might be temptations to maybe do something else in the meantime.
Right.
Even a lot of people say that to maintain efficiency at work, you need to work for maybe 1 hour, take rest for 15 minutes, go back to work for 1 hour, take rest for another 5 minutes. But in those minutes, in those rest minutes you're taking, you're not checking your social media. You're just resting. You're just taking a quick nap. You're just maybe stretching your legs and all of that. So this is how you can maintain focus. And then, discipline is also very important. You will not be able to achieve any of this if you're not disciplined.
Okay.
So you have to constantly ask yourself, have I achieved what I've set out to achieve? What have I achieved today? Ask those questions. And this is how I think you can, shut out distractions, whether online or offline.
Yeah. Jazakumullah khairan. And as you spoke, it occurred to me that, subhanAllah, our work ethics here in some offices here in Nigeria, we allow phones at work. In like typical environments in other climes, your phone is inaccessible until it's off office hours or your break time. And I think maybe more of us need to adopt that, and it would really improve our productivity generally. Mr. Razak, I'm coming to you, and I'm going to go a bit personal. So even though I'm going to ask the question first, but I'm going to go personal with you. As a mentor of many young tech talents, how can we begin to reshape the narrative within the Muslim families and communities to see digital careers, especially halal tech-based work, as dignified, impactful, and spiritually fulfilling? And when I say I want to go personal with you, did you study a computer-related course, or did you find your path along the lines? Were you always interested in the tech space, and was it something you sold to your parents early on and they jumped on it, or you re-navigated yourself back to this, your desire? How did it play out? Because we want to really help the youth. And again, it's SubhanAllah, just before our show came on, the Gen Z show that came before, it was exploring this career, and this is honestly conversations that we need to have. The usual, you must be a doctor, you must be a pharmacist, you must be an accountant, you must be a lawyer kind of conversations. We still have parents that are rooted like that. How are we able to sell to them this new trend of career paths, and how do we navigate? You need to help this youth and their parents, please.
Yeah, first and foremost, I would say that alhamdulillah, tech has been a great blessing for or say Nigeria, and let's say Africa, because it has really opened doors for us to collaborate, meet with people, like imagine having to work with people far away from you that you probably never met in your life, right? And doing that all the way from your co-working space or from your room and whatnot. And I think it's important for families to appreciate this digital space. And Alhamdulillah, you asked, have I always been a tech savvy? Yes. Alhamdulillah, for my parents, they are not the richest, but I knew how they struggled to put me in a good school. And this good school, let me give them a free PR. It's called MITech International School of Manchester. So we always had sessions for computer science, computer sessions. Like this was way back in primary school.
Right.
Like, so we're always taken to the computer lab doing computer sessions. And since then, I've always been fascinated, right? And I knew like, this is where I want to be. So right from primary school age, if you want to kidnap me when I was small, just let me know you have a laptop in your house, you have a computer in your house. Now, it's done. It's done, right? So on getting to secondary school, I had to beg my parents. I knew how difficult it was for them, but I knew how difficult it was for them for their pocket. But they tried. They got my first computers, and I was doing lots of designing, playing games as well. Yeah, I was a young guy, so I had to play games. So I was doing design stuff, playing games, and at that time there were concerns like, "Oh boy, you understand?"
Right.
Well, as much as I can, I still try to make it honest. Like this thing, I don't know where it's going to end, but it's going to be impactful.
Right.
Right. And this is what I want every parent, every guardian, everyone who is raising kids, who's, I don't use the word addicted to screen time, but make them see how they can make that screen time turn into an impact. Right? So we need to translate that screen time to visible impact. And one of the best ways to do that is equipping them, placing them, putting them in places where we can convert this screen time to productivity. Whether it's now there's summer school going on, there are lots of people doing tech boot camps for kids, for youngsters in the summer school. Take advantage of it. Right? Take advantage of it. And it's not compulsory that they like for me, I'm not really a fan of someone saying that I have a passion for something. As long as it's worth pursuing, follow it. It's not the passion doesn't have to be there. And it's back then that we always have this.
Network shouldn't do this to me this morning.
That's worthy of doing. But frankly, worthy of doing. Is it going to bring satisfaction to me? Is my Lord coming pleased with it? I do it straight away, right? So you can make your kids love the tech space. Put them in things. Let them watch documentaries about sciences. Let them watch documentaries about tech spaces. Let them watch documentaries about professionals. When people reach out to me, parents reach out to me, tell me, I want my son to be a developer X, Y, Z. The first thing I tell them, see, ma, go to YouTube. Let them watch an average life in the life of a developer. Let them watch 25 hours of an average life in the life of a designer, of a game developer, of a tech content creator. Let them see these things and appreciate it first. Then they can then decide, oh, I think I want to be I want to be this. I think I want to be that, right? And we must also another good thing is making them see real examples so they can see this impact. Let them know that this thing was built by XYZ. Muslim Tech Expo was done by Ibrahim, a very good friend of mine. That was created by Brother Musa. Make them see these things. Make them see the value. Like, oh, there's someone doing this thing that you are developing interest in, and this is also going to make them have this sort of. Oh, by the time I kickstart, by the time I go deep into this, these are possible mentors. I can follow their path so as to ensure that I attain success in what I'm learning.
Right.
Jazakumullah khair.
No. So I think if I hear you correctly, I love the path that you've. In fact, the presenter of the show also mentioned the counseling, career counseling, guidance counseling, both parents and the kids need to be exposed to this. So expose them, let them explore so they can make informed decisions. I think that's what I heard you say if I were to summarize. Jazakumullah khairan. Barakallahu fikum. I think I need to grab a sip of water. We'll take a quick break now. In just a few minutes, when we come back, I'd like to open the phone lines and have reactions or interactions from our audience. Stay with us. Everyday Muslim continues in Heartbeats.
When I was young, I was a fool. I was blind, didn't know any better. I was afraid I made too many mistakes, and you'd only look at me as a sinner. No matter how much I would try, all the walls I put up always shattered, until your mercy conquered me. Oh Allah, you know I love my insecurities. You keep them here far away. Oh Allah, you hide all of my sins and impurities. You call me back when I go astray. Whatever I did, whatever I said that's wrong.
You're welcome back. If you're just tuning in, it's WFM 91.7 and it's Everyday Muslim. We've been exploring the digital Muslim. I'm with Dr. Hafiz Akinde and Brother Abdul Razak Mustafa. It's been an impactful session so far. And this is where I put the phone lines to take your calls, your SMS, directed to them or the topic being discussed. 07000 917 is the number to call to be a part of the show. Of course, when your call comes through to the studio, mute your radio set or step away from where the radio is so we can have a smooth conversation. Alternatively, you can send those text or WhatsApp messages to our numbers 08155 917 917 07031 756 537 are the numbers to dial or text to be part of the show. Let me come to Mr. Hafiz. Drawing from your background in engineering, business analysis, and digital innovation, what practical digital or soft skills should young Muslims be actively developing right now? Not just to adapt, but to lead with impact and Islamic values in the digital age, actually for those that struggle with, career choice. Before you answer, let's take this call. Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for having the guest speaker. This is Dr. Salahuddin calling.
Dr. Salahuddin. Go ahead with your contribution, please.
All right. So thank you. I've been following the program, and I'd like to say hello to my big brother, Mr. Hafiz, and to my brother, Abdul Razak. It's always nice listening and hearing from them. So I'd like to ask, I know Abdul Razak has mentioned something about it, but I'd like to know, we have young secondary school students. Is there a way for us to is there something to make this secondary school more aware about how they can be one and all and avoid the several pitfalls that are associated with social media? Thank you.
Jazakumullah khairan. So he's throwing a question to either of you. How can we catch them young from secondary school? I think Brother Hafiz can go ahead so you can take it with your question as well. Brother Hafiz.
Okay. So thank you very much. The caller, Brother Tokwe Salahuddin, is a very good friend. And is also one of the Muslims, young Muslims who is leading the campaign for purposeful leadership among the youths, and I want to commend him for everything he's doing. Coming down to the question, how do we catch them young from schools? Okay, it's a collaborative effort between parents and the schools. Okay, while growing up, we never had a lot of opportunities. The only thing we had when we were growing up was Jet Club, Boy Scouts and all of those things. But the digital world, or the world generally, has evolved. There's a lot of things happening, and we can't afford to
be left behind.
Be left behind or sit at the lower rungs of the ladder. We have to be up there with the movers and shakers of the world.
Right.
And so parents have to be intentional while raising their kids. You're not just, our approach to child upbringing has to evolve with the needs of this time. Okay. Your child needs to develop digital literacy, and you have to help them to identify their talents. They need to be able to understand what problems they want to solve, how they want to contribute to making the world a better place. So parents need to work closely with their children to unlock the hidden potential, to bring out the talents in them. They need to help them, guide them to the right path in making good life choices. Okay, at least the minimum requirement from every parent is to make sure that their children are interested in increasing their knowledge, not just Islamic knowledge, but the Western knowledge, the mundane knowledge as well. You have to monitor their progress and provide materials that they will need for their personal development. The personal development for children is an area that we also need to look into. A child needs to have a library, okay, a library of books. They need access to programs, okay. Like my brother said, screen time needs to be turned to productive time. Are they learning any skills? What are you as a parent doing to ensure that your child achieves, something? And because children, they are young, they don't know anything. Parents need to be able to come up with a plan for them and ensure to follow this plan and help them through that journey. At some point, the children will have to make up their minds to make their choices, or this is what I want to do. But they would have had the foundation.
Indeed.
Okay. So that's that on the part of the parents. When it comes to schools, the schools should also assist these children, to learn. You're not just focusing on, the academics. You're developing the child in every way. Cognitive learning has to be top notch. Okay, the school has to provide facilities that make learning conducive for children. Okay, there's this alhamdulillah that I've been fortunate to experience education in Nigeria and outside Nigeria, and I know that there are lots of improvement needs to be made. Okay, the way classrooms are set up is very different from the way classrooms are set up in Nigeria. We need to make it digitally inclined. You're using interactive boards. We've moved away from the use of markers, using on boards. You're using, digital displays to, deliver your material. So all of these things need to be in place by the schools. So the schools will also see to the development of the children, provide instruments they need, equip their labs, take them on, trips, science trips, let them develop a worldview that is not restricted to Nigeria.
Right.
There's innovation that I've come across where classrooms in Nigeria are interacting with other classrooms from other parts of the world. So they're learning from them, and it's both ways. You're learning how you approach education in Nigeria. The people in Nigeria are also learning how they approach learning in the other parts of the world. So this way, we can say that we are up to world standards. So I think it's both ways, parents and the schools. Parents need to help their child, to tailor them, to create a plan for them, to narrow their interest towards a path, and then the school needs to provide a conducive learning environment and motivation. okay, to make learning accessible and enjoyable to the students.
Indeed. Jazakumullah khair. I'm going to come to you, Brother Razak. We have a message from one of our listeners. Good morning, Saz and Ma. Thank you for this impactful topic. What advice can you give the Nigerian government in giving governance digital relevance? In schools, offices, we are ages behind in digital literacy. You only need to walk into a government agency or government office and see how files are being loaded from one end to the other. So this listener says, I remember my niece coming for holidays, coming into my office and didn't understand what we were doing with files all stacked up. Staff retiring, they have to run about before they could get their entitlements. What's your advice to the government, Brother Razak?
Yes. Alhamdulillah. So I think that it has to do with a digital revolution. And I'm going to support the government in this way because I've been opportune to sit down as a stakeholder with the government. And believe me, there are lots of things being put in place to ensure that there's a digital revolution. Now, we should understand that this is going to be a journey, right? It's going to be a journey. And it's not something that I think would happen like immediately. But believe me, there are templates already being put in place by the minister, Bosun Tijani, and a whole lot of people in the whole digital space. People held in the affairs of digital space in Nigeria. So, and if you look at it right now, at certain places, government are also helping partner and collaborating with private entities. Recently, the Lorry Innovation Hub was opened to the public, and this is going to have a big impact in the community such as Lorry. And in Lagos, there are lots of hubs doing something similar. So I think that with more partnership between the government and private entities, don't forget that the tech space is just one of the millions of things government will do, and they can't put all the 100% on it. But if they can take just 1% of the attention and look at private partners to collaborate with, which is something I commend the Kwara State government for doing with Lorry Innovation Hub, partnering with IHS to bring up with these like literally one of the best hubs in Africa, I can say right now, right? So I think that the goal there is the government to partner with private bodies. When there's partnership with private bodies, when things are totally run by the government, you know how it always ends up. But when there's collaboration between government and private bodies, believe me, it will go a long way. And just in addition to the earlier question, I think it's more about exposure, making them start with exposure rather than pressure. When we make them see things, like you can't be what you can't see. Right. Definitely. You can't be a doctor, you haven't seen what a doctor looks like, right? So we need to bring tech to school hackathons. In our own time, it used to be called Jet Club. Right. Now it should be disintegrated to different kind of jobs that would have let's say specific niches, maybe focus on robotics, focus on app building, or focus on digital marketing and whatnot, right? And lastly, again, government can't do it all. Just like you mentioned, there still needs to be that synergy between the schools and the parents, right? The schools and the parents also need to have that synergy to ensure that we catch them young, basically.
Jazakumullah khairan. And to wrap it up, because we'll be out of time in a moment, if you still want to call, 07917917917 is about to call to be a part of the show. I'm going to throw this question to both of you, but I would like to hear from Brother Razak first. For Muslims who may feel left behind or tech averse, what simple steps can we take to build confidence and begin to navigate the digital world with faith and competence? And before you answer, me personally, there's some things I see in the IT space and it's pure witchcraft. You cannot tell me otherwise, right? so I'm very averse. There's some things that look like, want to initiate me, but I jump and pass. But yeah, sincerely, how do you carry people like us along?
All right, great question. Just like anything, just like anything you want to learn in this world, you can't escape learning the foundations. Do you understand? And this is where I think a whole lot of people get it wrong or get missing. So you don't want to feel left behind, but you have to still dig in. A whole lot of us think that the tech space looks easy. I felt majority of us were in the tech space because we made it look so easy. We made it look so easy because we only show the beautiful parts. And we don't show the hard parts where the whole background things are running, where you're having burnouts, where you're having to sleep, where you're having to debug. So we've sold the digital space as something like it's so going to be easy to come into. And when they come into it and they realize, I think this is a bit difficult, right? So majority of people run away at the foundation. Whatever skill you want to learn, are you ready to dig in? Are you ready to put in the work to learn the foundations of that thing that will take you to the next level, right? And do not feel left behind. Start where you are. Like, this is one of the things a lot of people have issues with. Start where you are. You don't need a MacBook to start learning how to code. Start with your Windows laptop. You don't need to buy a Sony or Canon camera before you start content creation. Start with your iPhone 11 camera. Start with what you have to get to where you want to get to, where you want to go to, right? And this is where I think a whole lot of people have issues. The foundations and waiting for the stars to align before they start. Oh, it has to be this. It has to be pitch perfect. Just start. When you start, the lessons, the best practices, you will get them along the line, and it will only get better. I will give you a very good example. The best video on my YouTube channel right now, with about 20,000 views, was the one I did without all the fancy gadgets. When I decided to buy a gadget and do all the whole fancy thing, I didn't even have as much views as I did with when I just only my laptop. Right? So and I just needed to start something at that time, right? So we just need to start where we are. And the next thing is we need to pair that thing we want to do. We have to pair it with the right intention. What purpose can this tool help me achieve? Oh, I have an iPhone 14 Pro Max. There are a lot of things you can do with an iPhone 14 Pro Max. I've seen people become a virtual assistant all by using a phone. Right? So this is you need to look where you are, the things you have in your arsenal, and get to where you want to go to. The third one is you need a key. Like, community is key. Join a community. You can't go far alone. They said there is strength for those who watch basketball. There's a team in the NBA called the Golden State Warriors. I love their line. They said there is strength in numbers, right? So in community, there are lots of communities you can join to ensure that you don't move alone. When you move alone, it's easy for you to get tired. It's easy for you to get burnout. There's platforms like Muslim Tech Expos, there's Muslim Builders, there's Muslim in Tech, there's Muslim Makers, a whole lot of communities you can join where they are offering free resources, free platforms, free workshops. You just have to be there, right? And lastly, have mentors. I think I mentioned this earlier. Have mentors who are doing this similar thing. Knock on their doors, reach out to them, ask them questions, bug them. You know what you want. You have to knock the door until it's open. Indeed. And that's what I think Muslims need to start doing.
Right. Jazakumullah khairan, Brother Razak. In 60 seconds, Mr. Hafiz, if you could just give closing, anything you want to add to what Brother Razak said.
Yeah, he said it all, but as if has asked me to add more details, I would like to say that everything still goes back to purpose. Okay, right. You are not just doing things mindlessly. Right. You want to be mindful about everything you're doing online, whether it's building a product, whether it's creating content. Know that you are a Muslim first before any other thing. So let that value, that Islamic value, shine through, and then make people say that, oh, this person is making a difference because he's a Muslim in tech. This person is making a difference because he's a digital Muslim. So that identity has to be protected. And then you always have to constantly ask yourself, what have I achieved today?
Right.
Every step I'm taking, moving me towards my goals. If not, you need to recalibrate and then, get back on track.
Jazakumullah khairan to my panelists, Dr. Hafiz Akinde and of course Brother Abdul Razak Mustafa. It's been highly impactful. May Allah reward you. May Allah make this way heavy on your scale of good deeds and count it in your favor on the day it will matter most. And
sorry, not a doctor yet.
Right. Okay, she never said prof. So let me put pressure on you so I can quickly attain professorship, right? So go for it. Go for it by all means. Jazakumullah khairan to you both. We'll do this again, inshallah ta'ala. This is all time permits us to bring your way. Why not join us same time next week when we'll bring you another beautiful package of Everyday Muslim. Until then, make the most of your breath. Every breath count. Make it count. Make your stay on earth count. Thank you so much, Ayomide, and of course Hilary and the rest of the crew that has made this possible today. Go and cast your vote. Local government elections is holding today. Go out there, cast your votes, make Nigeria a better place. We'll see you next week, inshallah. Masalam.
I know that you could easily take away everything you've given me, and I try to remember not to take anything for granted, 'cause I know that one day suddenly this will all come to an end. So my last wish is for you to be pleased with me. Allah, ya Allah, guide me all the way to your Jannah. Ya Allah, ya Allah, don't let me go astray, 'cause I need you by my side. I wish to be close to you throughout my life. Ya Allah, oh Allah, be with me all the way. I know that sometimes I do forget that my next breath could be the last. Forgive me, 'cause I can't thank you enough. Forgive me when I doubt your love. Now I pray for that day when all this stops and comes to an end. So my last wish is for you to be pleased with me. Allah, ya Allah, guide me all the way to your Jannah. Ya Allah, ya Allah, don't let me go astray, 'cause I need you by my side. I wish to be close to you throughout my life. Ya Allah, oh Allah, be with me all the way. Day by day passes, and I think that my time could be near. So I pray, oh God, let this world be in my hands and not in my heart. 'Cause soon I'll have to leave it. 'Cause soon I'll have to leave it. Allah, ya Allah, guide me all the way to your Jannah. Ya Allah, oh Allah, don't let me go astray, 'cause I need you. Allah, ya Allah, guide me all the way to your Jannah.
To sponsor this program, call the number 0816 480 7613.
WFM. Moving to inspire and to break the culture of silence.
voice of women, the voice of women, the voice of women, 91.7, the voice of women, the voice of women, the voice of women, 91.